What's up, Rotters? You know who it is. You know what time it is. Your boy Savage, aka Sev Cisneros. You tuning in to Sev Lokes Hood Tales 2.0. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's get to the politic. Big shout out to everybody showing the channel love. Appreciate the love and support. Thank you for the interactions. Before I start this video, let me make this clear. I am no way means promoting gang culture or the gang life. I'm just sharing the testimony, some life experiences, and shining some light on the Denver Metro. And in the process, hopefully, I can open up somebody's eyes that may be going down the wrong road and steer them in a different direction. So that's what it is. So let's get to the video, man. And in this video, it's a series off of my last two videos. Different neighborhoods in the Denver Metro and what's the ratio of gang activities and how active neighborhoods are. Like I said before in my other videos, if you're passing through and you're just a visitor and a transplant, you probably are not going to get pressed like that unless you're in somebody's business or chilling with the wrong crowd. So let me make that clear. I'm not saying, it's the murder capital, but you mess with the wrong people, you're going to get that domino effect, and that's just the truth, and that's in every city and state in America. So the first video, we covered the East Denver Metro and the neighborhoods over there. The second video, we covered the West and the West Denver Metro and neighborhoods over there and how active they were. And now we're going to go more south. So, when you go south of the map of downtown Denver, there's different opinions. Is it still west on like 6th and Sheridan? That's south on the side of the highway. I consider that more south, but you'll have more of a presence of West Side hoods, and them neighborhoods over there can get active at times too. I remember being in the motel by the 7-Eleven on 6th and Sheridan. There was a little neighborhood back there, and there was these fools from ERK, Every Rat's Nightmare, and they started tripping with the homies from OGCs, and it was bad blood over there. And there was a party that cracked off where the homies started having a conflict with some fools at a party right there, and the party got shot up in the basement. And I remember us pulling up, and these fools, they started driving, and we gave chase. I can remember being in that motel because that's where I paroled to when I first got out of the pen. And there was like some little West Side taggers right there that they were turned up. They were tripping with fools in the hotel, making their money. That little neighborhood had a little ratio. And at the time, it was like, it was like a 7 with gangbang activities. You caught West Side Bloods over there. You caught the homies from OGCs over there. What neighborhood is that? Then you go to the Barnum area, and, my cousin lived in that. My uncles from CMGs lived over there. And we had a Garcia reunion right there at Barnum Park. And everywhere you went, there was West Side tags. But that's more south of downtown Denver. I told you about the story when my homie was paroled over there and I lived in the Westwoods. I would go to his house, and just that strip on like First and Knox, going to his crib, you walk down that strip, in the summertime, you liable to see fools that you don't get along with because there'd be West Side presence right there. There'd be West Side fools right there. And, they dumped when we went on the side of the house. That's still West Side politics, but that's more South Denver. So let's go to what I consider really the heart of the South. And this is like the first aspect of the South. This is actually where I got shot, Alameda and Hazel, in the Westwood area, all that circumference from Alameda and Federal all the way down past Kentucky. And then, I would have to say maybe Mississippi and Federal, all that area. That's the first part of the South. This neighborhood is probably one of the more active neighborhoods in the Denver Metro. I would say Aurora's first, and then the Westwood area. And I lived over there after getting out on parole. And I was living on Kentucky and Tennyson. I was living on Morrison by the MGMs. And I was living right by the projects. And I'm going to tell you, us not being from over there, and this is not a fabrication, it brought a lot of heat. But at the time, I honestly didn't really have a care. I kind of had that, that mindset and that aura around me where I was kind of an aggressive individual. And I was, pressing lines. I made a lot of heat for me and my wife, to the point where we actually, started having homies come over there because it just got so hot one summer. We were fighting every other day. The homies were beating fools up every day. No fabrication. There was a couple times where it got out of control, and you know what it led up to. I'm not gonna say, but it led up to a couple different things on Kentucky and Tennyson, bro, at that greenhouse. Fade sessions, boom, all day, bro. There was fools that we lived on the block right there on that corner house in the greenhouse right across the street from the trailer parks. And up that street, the fools that we were really tripping with lived just 2 blocks away. And you could see them on top when they come out their house. You could see them on top coming out their house. We live right here. But at the same time, they had kids. We had a house. So, it was like walking on eggshells because at any given time, it could actually go up. Me and an OG, from 16 blocks actually got it up right in the middle of the street. Boom, 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 boom. And it turned into some other stuff. Down the road, I actually ran into that fool. And, I still was kind of on standstill when I came across him. But he was just saying that he heard what the whole story was. We squashed that situation, but it was better. It got squashed because that right there at that time was warfare. It felt like it was warfare. All the homies was always over there pressing everything. And I would have to say the Westwood area, you want problems, you are going to get problems. Go over there acting up if you want. You're not just going to be a civilian getting problems, but if you want activities, gang banging, it's all the way turned up to a 10. A lot of fools in recent years have got smoked. The fool DYS got popped right there. They shot that fool and they shot his brains out, bro. And the other blood fool got shot. The fool Bear got shot on Kentucky and Federal. There was always fools getting shot right there because it's like everything's over there, man. I ran into every gang over there, even Eastside Crips from Trey over there. I ran into Bloods over there, the G's over there. I even ran into the Odies over there. And now it's crazy, but I guess Sureños be over there. So Westwoods is turned up all the way. 10 ratio. It's up there with Aurora, especially on the west southwest. And people say it's the southwest, but it's more the southwest, definitely. And that's what it is, a whole 10. It's activated. Let's go to the next part of the South, the Byers Hood area. They got them little projects. The Byers Hood, the FBP fools, that's their little stomping grounds by that 7-Eleven. And they had the hamburger stand. And they secured that block. And there was, different times when that thing gets hot over there. I could tell you stories about all these neighborhoods, bro, because, I was just around the Denver metro, bro. And me being from my sector, we were always into it with, people. And then Byers Hood projects, bro, we were doing a fair across the street from that 7-Eleven. And we went to that 7-Eleven and we got into it with some fools, from Park Hill right there. And a fight broke out. And it was a fight that turned into some other stuff. And, it was activitied up. But them fools was deep over there. At the time, this was probably in 2003. At that time, it was fully activated all the way in 9.5. And I had a homegirl that lived right there. Fools were always in them projects. They even had Dog the Bounty Hunter go to them projects by the Buyers Hood, and some fool was hiding downstairs in the projects, and they had to go, and get him. But it was, it was activated for sure. So that's the second. That's pretty much the second part of the South. Now let's go far, far south to, I would have to say, Federal in Mississippi, all the way to Evans. Turned up the Brentwood Center, activated all the way. I told stories about that. Lincoln High School's right there, Evans, that 7-Eleven. Many situations. I used to South Cities with my cousins right there. Told you about a time when, situations popped off and the fools that stabbed the homie in the back of the head. They hopped out the bus. We're about to get it in a war, and then we had to go to 7-Eleven. And then, luckily the homie was there because them fools was coming to try to get us. So it was activated. And till this day, my homie be over there. I would have to say a 9.5 on activities. And that neighborhood is pretty rowdy. What do they call that neighborhood? Federal and Evans, from pretty much by the Gen X all the way down to Federal and Evans. I consider that all the same. The last part of the South, we're gonna go to south and then turn on Evans, going down to Sheridan and Evans, and that little spot right there. The Vassas over there, you have the Mexican supermarket, and to be honest, I think that has a handful of Sureños. If there's Sureños in Denver, which I'm hearing the F-13s are over there, but that area right there, it's just a gang of West Side fools and then South Side Sureños over there, and I went to the gym of all places, and in the gym, we was about to fight in the gym of the Vasa. So it gets active over there. My little partner stays down the block over there, and they got into it with a couple fools, and they came in, the house got shot up right there. So that area, I would have to give a 9 flat with ratios of activities. Yeah, and that's my opinions. You guys let me know. Mile high salute to the riders right there. Let's go.